Hello, massa. Gadrak ici pour faire sur tout fad bon ici. Quoi, tu sais, 6. Ja, c'est pas trop bad là. Coupe d'autres minutes. Les pets à Claude Godin pet puis au point, c'est ça que Massive Joseph Lynn dit. Now, Jokrak. He's saying that Claude Godin's farts don't stink. Thinks his farts don't stink. I think that's a joke. Corti. Just kidding. Come on. Tonight, Kristen and Jean-Claude and Andrew are going to be on. Ça fait pas de la rime. I'm going to be working at the hospital, wishing I was sleeping. J'ai un haircut, elle me dit ça. Je suis quasiment bald, ça paraît à faire là. C'est pas trop bad. Thanks for watching. There, tout le monde. Merci beaucoup. Justin do set. Tu l'as tué tout, Justin? Hello. I only have about 30 some odd seconds here before I'm back on, so I'm just going to click on my emission format, make sure I'm Et vous êtes rendu ici sur CIFA 104,1 FM, le son du sud-ouest avec Jay Hubbard à Voix'd Par-en-Bas. Bon après-midi tout le monde, c'est 12h08 couramment. Et avez-vous passé des beaux fins de semaine? Moi j'en ai, ça c'est pour sûr. À venir aujourd'hui, nous allons avoir des annonces communautaires, les journées nationaux, des bonnes fêtes ou anniversaires. À l'école, c'est un petit segment neuf là, pour faire sûr que les parents savent ce qui se passe à l'école avec leurs kids. Puis toutes sortes d'autres tunes et du stuff de même. So, pour rester, Chicawac où le temps peut s'arrêter. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Pour faire l'annonce about ça là. Minute and 15. 2 minutes 56. Excusez-moi pour une seconde, nous Rambo. Moi, Jurassium. Just gonna do that. Something's up with the sound here. For some reason, I'm not getting anything through the speakers, but that's okay. Pierre Lepage. Delete ça. Wonderful. Just writing notes here. Rambo. Last Blood's coming out this weekend. Pensant de ça. Pensant de ça. Un de les nicknames. C'est Campbell. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Just checking out. I got another song coming here in a second. Stu Delaware Fun. Not sure what. To de la Fun, maybe? Is that what you said, No Glory? Next Howard Stern, you're right. Listening to the tunes in the background here on my earphone, make sure all is well. Just writing some notes. Yeah, having tons of fun, thanks, Gloria. Writing notes because there's a new Rambo movie, and my youngest daughter Cameron's nickname is Cambo because she's a tough little pooper like Rambo is. Tough comme Rambo. Pensant de ça. Thinking of that, I'm gonna see if I can get a tune that she's gonna like. I don't think so, but so most of my database of tunes here are English. I'm gonna try Incubus. No Incubus. Well, that didn't work. I might have to log off the Facebook Live, but not while I got people on here, so thanks for viewing. At some point, I'm gonna talk about the new Rambo movie coming out, Last Blood. I was a big Rambo fan growing up. I had all the Rambo Barbie dolls, so to speak. Action figures, sorry, not Barbie dolls, action figures. Got a few ads, about a minute or so to go here. And then I'll do my community announcements in French. Annonces communautaires, things that are going on. Yeah. Then eventually here I'll probably shut the live off for a minute, go in, do some stuff on my phone, go from there. About 20 seconds, I'm on live again on CIFA 104.1. Monday to Friday, noon to 3 Atlantic Standard Time. You'll find me there. So there's a whole bunch of announcements here. Et vous êtes ici en tout chat avec Jay Hubbard, ta Voix'd Par-en-Bas. Va faire tes annonces communautaires pour lundi le 16 septembre. Il y a du bingo à la Legion à Wedgeport le lundi soir à 7h. Prix de viande, c'est 10 cents la carte et 15 jeux. Le pot de Tunis est à environ 80 pièces, $80. Et le 7 chanceux est à plus de 500 pièces et augmente à chaque semaine jusqu'à temps qu'il est gagné. Il y aura 7 semaines de reste pour les prélèvements de fonds ici à votre radio communautaire Radio CIFA. C'est à 5 pièces le billet, puis il y a des bons prix là-dessus. Premier prix, c'est un Honda Self-Propelled Lawnmower, fourni par Leonard C. Como Limited, en Commoville. Le deuxième prix, 2 chaises Adirondack, faites de bois, fourni par Lowell Briggs. Troisième prix, une gift certificate avec une valeur de 50 pièces de BCD Fisheries. BSO à vendre à CIFA en Commonwealth et aussi aux 2 caisses populaires de Claire en Metegan et à Pointe-l'Église. Le draw est 7 vendredi le 20 septembre, alors hâtez-vous et donnez-nous un call à 1-902-769-2432 ou allez sur la page Facebook à Radio CIFA pour d'autres informations. Quand vous êtes là, c'est-à-dire sur la page Facebook à Radio CIFA, n'oubliez pas d'aller checker out mon concours appelé Quelle auto est-il? C'est un concours que j'ai commencé la semaine passée. Je vais faire ça toutes les semaines. Pour participer dans le concours et être éligible de gagner un gift certificate de 35 pièces sur l'Altamar à Guy, ici en Toustret, n'oubliez pas de premier aimer la poste, aimer la page de Facebook à Radio CIFA, partager la poste et de soumettre votre réponse correcte dans les commentaires. J'ai une petite hint spéciale pour mes écouteurs et ceux qui regardent sur Facebook Live. Si vous copiez le portrait de voiture par right-cliquer sur votre mouse ou sur ton phone par tenir le doigt sur le portrait et coller ce portrait-là de même façon sur la search bar de Google, tu trouveras peut-être la réponse de quel car que j'ai mis le portrait. Le draw pour mon concours est aussi le vendredi 20 septembre. Le prochain jour, le samedi 21 septembre, les Yarmouth Y Whitecaps auront un prélèvement de fonds où ils vont faire lave auto à la Yarmouth Superstore Gas Bar qui est situé à la 104 Stars Road. Ça va être de 10h du matin jusqu'à 2h de l'après-midi, ce samedi 7 qui va. La prochaine mercredi, il y aura un débat des candidats pour la prochaine élection fédérale à l'Université Saint-Anne au théâtre Marc Lescarbot. Ça prendra place le soir du mercredi 25 de septembre à 6h et le public est invité à présenter leurs questions aux candidats. Et ça, c'est tout pour Aster pour les annonces communautaires à venir. Une tune appelée Vive l'amour par le vent du Nord. Hi everybody, back on the live. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I've gotten a few suggestions for anniversaries, birthdays, stuff like that. What's up, Christian? Mr. Chris. See you at work tonight, unless you're sick or something. Hi, Claude. What's up? Handsome nephews. Just because I got a haircut, got it like that. Not gonna sweat quite as much, which is wonderful. Like the Tata Clark would say, "C'était pas wonderful, ça?" They have this weird face saying, "C'était pas beautiful." We're hoping to do a Tata Clark for Par-en-Bas. 3:30. Thanks for the reminder. If any of my other buddies that work at the hospital in environmental services kitchen. Nah, kitchen not so much. Environmental services, I guess. 3:30. Today's the first day of our new start time. Hoping to talk to Sunny about that. I gotta look at my live from Friday because there's something else I wanted to do. To talk to them about. 19. I got missing by 45 seconds here. 26. Might as well say a 4-minute tune. So I'm looking for a 4-minute tune as we speak. You're going to click on my name. And there it is. One at all. So yeah, I just copied and pasted a tune called Anne by Eric Sept. Pop that in there like 13 seconds before it went live. So that's gonna play. Then Leo Benoit. And yeah, had some great talks with a couple of the guys at work. Friday night on break, I was able to have a couple chats with Paul Taylor, one of the security guards that's in from the valley to replace one of the permanent guards here that was on vacation, Monsieur Marcel Deon from Pumguru. Nah, tease Marcel all the time because his dad's from Pumlico and his mom's from Par-en-Bas, so he's a mix of the two. I ask him how he tells what word he's going to say when he's throwing his accent in there. But yeah, talked to Paul Taylor about all sorts of cool existential stuff. Also talked to Josh Trask, Mr. Josh. Ooh-wah. Josh Trask, yeah, about sort of the same thing. Great thing about talking to multiple people about same topics is you get to see their opinion on everything. One of which is the polarization of political parties. I'll just make a quick comment, then I'm going to log off. Perhaps. Nah, maybe not. There's still some lives, so if ever I got some dead space, hello there. I see somebody, but I can't quite tell who yet, and it hasn't told me on the phone. But hi. The icons on my phone are only 3/16 of an inch, so hard to tell. Claude is one of them, it looks like, as I recognize his picture. Claude, did you see Matthew said your farts don't stink? Apparently he's got first-hand knowledge. And yeah, we were talking about the origins of the political system, where not that I know of. No, they didn't find the thief at the Bitamiro. Apparently there's one going around here a while back too, but just keeping an eye on stuff here, making sure that the show's flowing on the radio. And yeah, so to jump back, origins of political duality, or the polarization currently. So just for example's sake, initially in the music scene, I remember, and I'm sure it happened before, like maybe David Bowie and the Stones and Steve Tyler and those kind of guys are throwing in, trying to be exhibitionist of sorts to garner attention. And I remember Madonna coming scantily clad, so to speak, wearing these pointed things over her breasts, and garnering attention that way. And it went on to like Christina Aguilera and Lady Gaga and Janet Jackson, and stuff like that is just getting more and more and more extreme to try to garner attention. I think the same thing is happening politically. So to garner attention, the left and the right are basically doing as extreme a thing as they can do so that they gain attention from the people that are right on the fringes. What they're forgetting is the vast majority of people are right bang smack in the middle. In the origins of politics, that Josh and I were talking about are basically as such. So the original conservatives, conservateurs, and like they'd say in French, the original conservatives were basically people that were happy with the status quo. They said, things are great the way they are, let's leave them that way. And then the original liberals were usually in concurrence. They said, yeah, I agree with that. Things are great how they are. But did you notice that Joe Blow down the road was dumping his poop in the street? Let's see if we can change that. And they started wanting to change little things. Where it's gone, basically, is the liberals are saying, no, you got to be able to change this too. You got to be all inclusive all the time. And the conservatives are, no, you have to leave it the way it is all the time. They're not considering that some of those values are of value to their parties on either side. So the liberals sometimes have to realize you can conserve certain things, and the conservatives have to realize sometimes there are some edits or modifications or amendments that you have to allow. There's an opinion on politics. If you don't believe me, that's your prerogative. Don't do it. Don't believe me. If you have a point of view that you want me to see, so maybe I can change my stance in that regard, then yeah, come on down, have a chat. It doesn't have to be on the air or on a Facebook Live, but I'd love it to be, because I'm hoping basically to use the radio show as a way to promote my lives, and the lives as a way to promote what I'm going to call my Transcendental Resonance page. It's kind of an idea that I came up with a while ago, that every feeling or thought or sentiment or piece of art that's ever been created has a certain vibratory resonance, certain frequency that it vibrates at. And if you can if you can resonate with a piece of music or art, if it gives you chills or just touches you in a manner that you can't explain, that is, to me, is considered being on the same transcendental resonance frequency. And it's not something that can be explained by science. There shouldn't be any reason that a certain event or action causes physiological change or release of hormones in that regard. But yeah, we could talk about almost anything on the Transcendental Resonance show, and I hope to talk about things like endogenous release of chemicals, the Eye of Horus, that's depicted basically as the third eye in Egyptian lore or symbology. The Eye of Horus seems to point to the pineal gland, pituitary gland, and their housing in the thalamus. And that makes the triangle that you see as the all-seeing eye. So that's kind of neat. I'd love to delve into that a little bit, because the pineal gland, they're starting to discover, is the place that dimethyltryptamine or DMT is manufactured within the brain, and that gives you the overwhelming joy that you feel when you get things like runner's highs or near-death experiences or holotropic breathing, just regular transcendental meditation. All those kind of things are triggering the release of dimethyltryptamine. Joe Rogan and his buddies are all about that kind of stuff, and that's where I really learned about it to start with. But nonetheless, I got a quick live coming up in just a second here, it looks like. Maybe not. Looks like it might not be till about 22. So that works out good. Just making sure I had some stuff going on. If you have some stuff you want to promote, let me know. Like, I got a message from Ann Dontremo about the Y Caps, the Y Whitecaps car wash, this weekend. And yeah, I'd love to promote the stuff. Looking for a way to get prizes that people are gonna really hope to get, I guess. without taking from the advertising budget of the people that advertise with CIFA, because I want to promote the radio station, not have people go away from paying money to the radio station to keep us afloat. So yeah, if you have ideas on how I can do that without taking from the advertising budget of some of the people on CIFA, or some of the businesses on CIFA, let me know. For example, one thing that I think may work that doesn't necessarily take from advertising budgets is the dealerships, car dealerships, local ones, Toyota, Honda, Ford, GM, Nissan, Mazda, all those people have vehicles that they want to sell. That's obvious. But not everybody can always just walk into a dealership and say, hey, I want to test drive your new sports car. Or that, I know for sure that Ford has a replicated or a replica of a SVT Lightning that no longer exists. So it's an F-150, two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive F-150 that's been supercharged with a roof supercharger, a roof blower. Suspension's been changed, wheels have been changed, traction control's been changed. Yeah, so I don't think they allow people to go on a test drive, but they may allow somebody that wins a contest to do that, and that doesn't necessarily have a value that takes from their advertising budget, but it does promote. So if you want to take a ride in that truck and you think that's a great idea, let's see if we can find a way to get Ford to see the value in that. And I'll be in touch with them. I have already. Yeah, same thing. I talked to Matt McCarran at Nissan. He was thinking that he could bring people for a drive in their GTR, which is where the lineage of the Nissan Skyline has gone. Basically, it was from the 60s, the Nissan Skyline. Then they started I'm not sure the right word for it right now because I just keeping track and kind of my brain's in too many places at once. But cars would have a year, make, model, and a sub-model like F-150 LT. So a Skyline would have been a 1972 Nissan Skyline GT, or GTR was their Grand Tour Racing Edition, and ended up being almost legendary. They call it Godzilla because it was the beast that could kill all our competition. I'm a big car guy, so I love talking about that stuff. And yeah. What are the other things that I talk about? One of the things that, and I can't get a concise answer from anyone, is the function pi, P-I, which is the Greek letter P. I guess they would have pronounced it pi. Don't know. Really don't know. Nonetheless, the function for pi, how do you calculate pi? Like I've seen now that the new world record was set January 19th this year, something to that effect. And they calculated 3.1 trillion digits of pi. I don't even have a clue how they do that. Like, is it... All I've noticed in researching pi is it's not prime numbers, or not any whole numbers. So you can't say 22 divided by 7 is pi, because that will give you a finite answer. So pi is what they call an irrational number. It doesn't come up with a finite answer. But it's basically the ratio of the diameter. If you take a line, run it through the center of a circle from one end through the center to the other, that's diameter. And then that diameter, if you multiply that by pi, 3.14, it gives you the circumference, the whole direction around the circle. So that's it, pi in a nutshell, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. And I got in a big tangent there for a while because I'm a nerd, where I was trying to calculate for pi without, calculate for circumference without using pi. Or, yeah, don't know how to word that. Nonetheless, looking for that answer. Got a theory in rotating systems, and hoping that I get credited with the discovery of this. So, and that's probably where the pi thing got started. So if you take any rotating system that's a fixed system, so everything within the system rotates, like a galaxy, Milky Way, everything's rotating uniformly. There's nothing getting closer or farther from one another, except for that the galaxy is expanding, but it's still rotating in unison. So, if you take a fixed speed at a near diameter, near radius, from the center of moment of the rotating system, you can calculate something like, say, 100 kilometers per hour, because the radius maybe only will be, say, 15 kilometers away from the center of moment, so the center of our galaxy's rotation. Where it gets crazy is if you go far enough from the center of moment, from the rotating center of the galaxy. If you go far enough away, because it's all rotating in unison, you're going to get a number that's approaching the speed of light. And as soon as it crests the speed of light, light will no longer be visible to anything that's observing from that location or from without that location, so any other galaxies. So I want to talk to some mathematicians, and there's a guy I've got, hopefully you'll be in touch with him soon, works at the Lighthouse in Yarmouth. His parents are nuclear medicine technologists at the hospital. I'm on in about 10 seconds, so excuse me for just a second. Vous êtes rendu sur CIFA 104,1 FM, le son du Sud-Ouest, avec Jay Hubbard, à Voix'd Par-en-Bas. J'ai déjà fait les annonces communautaires pour Aster. Je vais donner les journées nationales. Aujourd'hui, le 16 septembre, c'est la journée nationale de Play-Doh, la journée nationale de pain de raisin et cannelle. Et ça me fait penser à grand-mère Pauline, aux en faisant choses, mais ça sent de bonne quand ça cuise. La journée nationale de parents qui travaillent. La journée nationale de belles familles, or step families. La journée nationale d'entraînement d'adolescents. La journée nationale de Mayflower. C'est sur ce jour ici que le bateau de voile Mayflower a quitté Plymouth, Angleterre, en 1620 avec 102 hommes à bord. 7 personnes ont mouru en traversant l'Atlantique, et après le premier hiver, il n'en restera que 51 des pilgrims qui ont été en Amérique. Je vais regarder une coupe de tunes là. On va voir des annonces, et après ça, on va voir ce que je vais jouer. That was that. Where was I? So, rotating systems. Where you get iffy with rotating systems. What's up, Josh Trask? Where you get iffy with rotating systems is that no body with any mass can eclipse or go faster than the speed of light, 200 or 300,000 kilometers per second, roughly. 299,758, I think, is the actual number. Doesn't matter. Not important right now. So, I realized that no system in itself can have things that are exceeding the speed of light, because they're breaking the laws of thermodynamics and of relativity. But if you have one system that's rotating, its outer extremities are rotating at 60% of the speed of light, and a second is rotating at 40%, or just slightly greater than that, even only 41% of the speed of light, the combined speeds of the two is in excess of the speed of light. And if you're viewing them from away, from any different vantage point than that own system, the compound speeds exceed the speed of light, and that may explain some dark matter. If that's in fact true, I'd love for that compound function to be called the Hubble distance, because in conjunction with the hub of a spoked wheel, for example, and Hubbard, my last name, the Hubble distance. If you ever hear something called the Hubble distance, it's named after me. Which would kind of be cool. Maybe even a little egocentric, but it'd be cool to have something that lasts throughout time. In that regard, just like Galileo and Copernicus and Pythagore and all the people that have their names associated to math. We need to have a constant with my surname on it. And yeah, thanks Josh for listening to that, and Chris and all the folks that listen to me ramble about that craziness. And my wife, she's heard it about 1 billion times, I'm sure, by now. Yeah, I know it's not really 1 billion. Probably 400,000 times, sorry. Just exaggerating for effect. It's better than swearing, right? What else? Talk about all sorts of things. Josh, what did we talk about on the weekend? Obviously politics. The pyramids a little bit. The transcendental resonance frequency. TRF. All sorts of stuff. I wonder if a new religion has to be started or created. Something that's going to take into account that much of the I can't think. Much of the archetypes that are in religion, sorry about that, are embedded very, very deep within the roots of the dogma that makes up religion. And I think we have to kind of be wary of those archetypes. Some of them depict a common human battle. Others of them may depict religious connotation. No, not even religious. A power struggle. For example, Lilith, which I believe Josh and I did speak about, was said to have been Adam, as in Adam and Eve's first wife, and she wanted equality. There's a big long story about how she could be the wife of the devil, or the mother of the devil, and all sorts of silly things. I might have jumped the gun by saying silly, but all sorts of things. So Lilith wanted equality. It seems like religious dogma could have forced upon 279. Religious dogma could have forced Eve into the picture, so the rulers of the time could have went, we don't want women to be equal. That is not my opinion. I do want women to be equal. So it seems like the religious leaders of the time went, let's find a way to knock women down a notch. So they create Eve and add her to their version of the Bible, so that a patriarchy can go forward. Also, something to be wary with a religion is things like the Mesoamericans that would have partaken in a ceremonial mushroom eating. That was considered to be the devil's food, because it was said that in taking communion of that food, just like we take communion of Jesus' body, for example, in communion of that food, you saw God, or what they would have considered the gods back then. 49, 53. Just making sure here that 2 minutes 53, so 2 minutes. 2, 47, 48, 49, 53, 7, 2 minutes and 7 seconds. I just want to find a song that's going to fit this a little better, so excuse me. Just looking. 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Capitaine Pintar, Eric Madanier Pêche. That'll work. I'm going to throw in Eric Strat instead of Joanne Bond. It's trop entendu. There, that'll be better. 47, 48, 49, 53, 60. Yep, it's only 10 seconds past the top of the hour. So yeah, demonized the eating of mushrooms and said that it was devil worship, because they realized if any human could partake in eating of anything, in this case a mushroom, and see God, that the middleman, the humans, the religious leaders, would no longer be necessary. So they would lose all the tithes, the tithing or paying of 10% of their whatever they get, income, food, harvest, crops, um, of their animals. I forget what the term is for that right now. It's a little tired and too much on my mind. Nonetheless, they get 10% of all that unless people find God without them as a middleman. So became demonized. Almost disappeared apart from one friar who took notes in his journal because he felt bad that the whole culture would be lost. You have to be wary of that kind of thing. And it may not be creating a whole new thing from scratch. Sometimes reinventing the wheel isn't what it takes. But you have to figure out how to make the wheel more efficient. Those are the things I want to talk about. If you have great ideas in that regard, even bad ideas, if you have ideas at all, we should talk. Joseph Hazelton, Josh Trask keeps insisting that we have to talk sometime on a podcast, and I'd love to do that. I'm hoping that these multiple avenues of media are going to allow the proliferation of my other entity, Transcendental Resonance, on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and stuff. So basically I'm pointing the CIFA people that are on the radio. Hi Jen. When are you back to work, by the way, Jennifer? So yeah, I'm hoping to point the CIFA people that are listening, to the Facebook Lives, and the Facebook Lives can therefore disseminate some of the information I want to get on my Transcendental Resonance page. So that's what's going on with me. Right now, though, I'm just checking out the newest meteorological, the latest weather report here. Because at the top of the hour, in just about a minute, what's going on? Why the hell am I missing that many tunes? Weird. I'm missing 2 minutes roughly. Just noticed that I was missing like 4 songs. Don't know why. Just writing what I just heard, Eric Surette, ma dernière pêche. Hurt Leblanc sur la ligne à Hart. I got about a minute and 50 seconds, a minute and 48 seconds to talk here in a second after this Hurt LeBlanc tune comes on. Simo and Andre, the tragically hip Bob Cajun, 452. So that might do it, yo. Pardon my Bob Cajun. There we go. Yeah, sorry for going blank like that, folks. I just noticed that I was missing some time. It's only 12:52. At about 12:55, I got a... Not even that. There we go. That's what's on. Vous êtes rendu ici sur CIFA 104,1 FM avec Jay Hubbard à Voix'd Par-en-Bas. C'est 12h53. Je vais avoir une coupe d'automne là avant le fête de l'air. Je vais faire vous autres actes d'attendre Eric Surette, ma dernière page, puis Hurt Leblanc sur la ligne à hard. À venir, ça va être Jacques Surette, Marche, 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 puis The Tragically Hip, Bob Cajun. Hey Karen, got a little bit of stuff going on in the background here that I'm not sure what's up. Let's see if it resolves this next time through. So far so good. Whew. Okay. I don't know what was up. The wrong song was showing on the player. I had no idea how much time I had left to the end of a song. which is what I use to cue my my speaking, basically. Just checking to see. Sometimes I get condition updates for the weather. It's just currently showing 12 o'clock. Excuse me, itchy nose. As much as I love this time of year, it's rough on the sinuses. From the ragweed and stuff that's going around is what they say, but I don't know how true it is. Can't hear, feel free to tune in to 104.1 FM, noon to 3, Monday to Friday, Atlantic Standard Time. Currently, Bob Cajun is playing by the Tragically Hip. Love that tune. Every once in a while, I'll get a pang of remorse, I guess. No, not remorse. Don't know the right adjective right now. Basically, miss the fact that Gord Downey was on this earth with us and had a voice to be heard and had such good points of view and philanthropy. He seemed to be a good dude, as was evidenced by the specials that they had on his death, and going on tour in the middle of cancer treatment. Just completely unheard of. Just a good guy all around. Thanks for joining me. It's not telling me who yet. Listening to the last little bit here of Twitter, c'est 1h de l'après-midi. Conditions actuelles sont enregistrées à l'aéroport de Yarmouth. C'est 14,8 degrés Celsius, généralement nuageux, pression de 101,4 kPa, tendance qui baisse, vent du nord-ouest 23 km/h avec rafale de 33 km. Pour la plupart de la semaine, demain se donne une miette de nuages, autre que ça, soleil, et le reste de semaine tout ensoleillé. Mercredi 15 degrés Celsius, jeudi 16 degrés Celsius, vendredi, samedi et dimanche, tout 20 degrés Celsius plus haut. Allow me to check that out. Yeah, so it's 1 o'clock already. I've thrown out an hour there already on the lives. Thanks for joining. 3:07 and 44 seconds. I've got a rave de job. That's what I thought. So I'm just looking this over. So to go with my birthday announcements here, I've got a tune coming up. Josh Puche, they call him Pinky. He's with a band called Sleepless Nights, and they redid Eric Zret's tune called La Molle, which was about Arnis, a guy named Arnis Abiljak. So his dad would have been Bill Jack. His name's Arnis, and they wrote a song about him. Back in the 80s, Eric released that song. It was quite big around here. Listening to the news on CIFA. Sounds like an actual RCMP officer was arrested for theft. Yep, he was suspended immediately. No details on the nature of the theft. The roads are opening up in Halifax a little more by more. That's one of the things. Yeah, it's pretty much back to normal here. Know anyone that still doesn't have power? I noticed on the weekend there had to be a dozen non-local power trucks kicking around from all the way over Boston Pizza and Cineplex parking lot. There's some there. There's some in the parking lot where Jungle Gyms is, and Amanda and Evelyn's. Obviously some in the Best Western. I'm trying to think where I saw them all. There's a whole pile of them, so thanks guys for coming down, for leaving your families behind to come help all of us out. Very much appreciated. Thanks to the guys that the arborists there that are cutting the trees down and handling that kind of stuff too. Without all you guys and the signs people, I don't think it would have got done. I know it wouldn't have got done anywhere near as quickly, so thanks again. So while I still have a couple minutes, I got birthday announcements to come here, so I'm going to make sure that I have everything I need pre-read. So happy birthday to Samantha Johnson and Brandon Dontremo. It's Tony Muse's 44th birthday. Tony from Quinnen. Went to school with Tony, so what's up? 34th birthday for Tyler Bork from Mirrors Hill. Preston Gable's 36th birthday, and Janine Paquette's 67th birthday. They share birthdays with, this one kind of blew my mind. In the year 16 AD, while Jesus Christ himself was still on earth, Drusilla, the fee of Germanicus, and Agrippina the elder was born. She lived for 22 years at the same time that Jesus himself was on earth, and died at age 38. Other cool ones, Charles Crocker was Central Pacific and Southern Pacific Railroad magnate. He was born in New York in 1822, 1858. And Andrew Bonner Law was British Prime Minister. He was born in what was the British colony of Kingston, New Brunswick, and became the British Prime Minister. That's kind of neat. In 1875, James Cash Penny, or J.C. Penny, was born, founder of the department store. 1923, Lee Kuan Yew, who was the founding father of Singapore, of modern Singapore, and the first Prime Minister of Singapore. He was born. In 1925, Riley B. King, known as B.B. King, was born, the blues singer and guitar player. In 1956, David Copperfield, born David Kotkin, an American magician, was born in Metuchen, New Jersey. In 1971, Amy Poehler, who's an American comedian and actress, was born. Excuse me, just a second. Et vous êtes rendu ici en tous chat avec Jay Hubbard à Voix'd Par-en-Bas. C'est NR7 couramment. Va commencer par dire bonne fête à mes amis sur Facebook. Aujourd'hui, c'est la fête à Samantha Johnson de la Ville et Brandon D'Entremont de Pubnico. C'est aussi le 44e fête à Tony Muse de Les Forks. C'est le 34e fête à Tyler Book de Les Buttes à Miro. Le 36e fête à Preston Gable de Pleasant Lake. Et le 67e fête à Janine Paquette. Samantha, Brandon, Tony, Tyler, Preston et Janine partagent leur fête avec les célébrités suivantes. Je pourrais pas croire ça, c'est dans la 16e année après Jésus a été né. Drusilla, la fille à Germanicus, et Agrippina l'ancienne a été née. Elle a dépassé 22 ans sur terre au même temps que Jésus-Christ était ici lui-même, et elle a mouru à l'âge 38. À l'année 38, je veux dire, âge 22. Pardonnez-moi. Dans 1822, Charles Crocker, c'était un magnat américain et exécutif des Railroads Central Pacific et Southern Pacific. Lui a été né en Troy, New York. Dans 1858, Andrew Bonar Law, Premier ministre britannique, a été né sur l'ancienne colonie britannique de Kingston, New Brunswick. Dans 1875, James Cash Penny, fondateur du magasin de département américain J.C. Penny, a été né en Hamilton, Missouri. Dans 1923, Lee Kuan Yew, père fondateur de Singapour moderne et le premier ministre de Singapour, a été né en Singapour. Dans 1925, Riley B. King, connu comme B.B. King, un guitariste et chanteur de blues américain, a été né en Itabena, Mississippi. Dans 1956, David Copperfield, qui a été né David Kotkin, un magicien américain, a été né en Metuchen, New Jersey. Dans 1971, Amy Poehler, une comédienne et actrice américaine, a été née en Newton, Massachusetts. Et puis en 1992, Nick Jonas, un des Jonas Brothers, qui est un chanteur, acteur et producteur américain, a été né en Dallas, Texas. Aujourd'hui, c'est aussi le 30e anniversaire à Judy et Brian Eldridge de Carlton. Bon anniversaire, Judy et Brian. Le 2e anniversaire à Nicole et John Hurlbert de Digby. Bon anniversaire à John et Nicole. Et hier, c'était le premier anniversaire à Megan et Josh Poche. Josh est originalement de Par-en-Bas. C'est le garçon à Charles Poche de Belleville, et puis lui et dans le band Sleepless Nights, qui ont fait un cover d'une tune à Eric Surette qui est à venir, appelée La Molue. Aussi, hier, c'était la fête à ma plus petite fille, Cameron. Et Cameron, un de ses nicknames, c'est Cambo, qui fait rire de miette à cause de fans ici qui vont. Le nouvel Rambo movie va être venu, ça va être Rambo Last Blood. So pour rester, j'allais écouter La Molue par Sleepless Nights et Eric Surette. So just finishing up live on CIFA here. Got to do a couple deletes, some 5 minutes too far, which is wonderful. Delete that. I'm a minute and 15 too long. A minute. $3:14. That's that. Hey guys on Facebook. There we go. Originalement. Et vous êtes rendu ici sur CIFA 104,1 FM avec Jay Hubbard à Voix'd Par-en-Bas. C'est NRC couramment. Sur acte d'attendre la molly, originalement par Eric Sept, qui a été refait par une band de Halifax, je m'en souviens, appelée Sleepless Nights. Après ça, il y avait un petit fiddle tune par Paul Como. Ouais, j'ai oublié une fête. J'ai vu ça sur Facebook en passant. Je suis aussi sur Facebook Live. So, si vous allez là sur Jay Hubbard, vous me trouverez là que je fais une Facebook Live au même temps que je suis sur les ondes. C'est la 10e fête à Olivia Muse. Et elle, c'est la fille à Stacy et Denise Muse. Les deux sont originalement de Par-en-Bas. So, bonne fête, Olivia. À cette restauration à Dartmouth, right, pour dire. So, à venir au temps de Mike avec pour commencer avec. Back dans clair. Thanks for tuning into the live, folks. Just checking things out, making sure the show's flowing decently here. Whew, wowzers. Happy belated to Cameron and happy birthday to Madison, my two girls. Cameron just turned 11 yesterday. Madison turns 14 to the 20th, Friday. I was going to say tomorrow. Tomorrow's not the 20th. Anyway, happy birthday, girls. Love you. Throwing in some stuff from Par-en-Bas here. Jacques Surette, les hauts et les bas. Go. Le chemin en Acadie. Did a little bit of a cut off if you're listening to the radio there. Had Mike Avec going back on Claw, back in Clare. Just clip the last minute or so to make sure the tunes line up a little bit here, and I got Jacques Strait, Le Chemin en Acadie. So we'll see what that. I heard a song of his the other day that kind of dug, but I was listening to the radio on the way to town to go to work. Excuse me. I'm live here in Tuscan at the Salle Père Maurice Leblanc. Excuse me. It's a theater behind the school, Par-en-Bas school. And on the ground level there's a little bit of stuff that leads back to the actual school. I'm like the last door there before the elevators and before the double doors that lead into the school. It's kind of a storage closet that I get to share with CAPEB here, Conseil Acadien Par-en-Bas, the Acadian Council of Par-en-Bas, or Down Under. Yeah, for those that aren't aware, Southwest Nova is basically one of the points of origin of the Acadian people. And up north in the Clare regions, they call that Par-en-Haut, sorry. Up above. Jacques actually has a song called Les Hauts et les Bas, the ups and downs. So we're Par-en-Bas, we're down south from their point of origin, Les Par-en-Bas. I really like to have been a fly on the wall, so to speak, way back when these areas were being settled originally by the French. So I feel like the originators weren't necessarily the Acadian people that were fleeing persecution and being able to have religious freedom. But the original French settlers here may actually have been the Knights Templar, or the Templar Knights, that you hear on Curse of Oak Island quite readily. They were freeing the same sorts of persecution, only they had a hit out on them. King Philip the Fair and Pope Benedict, maybe? Nonetheless, doesn't matter which pope. A pope and the king of the time decided to get together because the king owed a lot of money to the church, and the church was not happy with having found out that the Templar Knights were not a Catholic sect, even though they helped fight for the church, because the church had a lot of the same beliefs. So in so doing, they charged the Knights Templar with heresy, and basically did something like on the fall equinox, the first Friday after the fall equinox, we want you to kill all the Knights Templar worldwide. So that hit went out, and from then forth, it was the 13th of Friday, perhaps in October, I've heard. So Friday the 13th of October, 1203, basically, there was a hit worldwide, and the Templar Knights were almost wiped right off the face of the planet. The surviving ones fled to the middle of France, and they shacked up with other sympathizers of the Knights Templar. It's assumed from there they went to Scotland with William Sinclair, followed William Sinclair to New Scotland, to Nouvelle-Écosse, Nova Scotia, and made settlements here, became amalgamated with the Acadian people. The Templar Knights became amalgamated with the Mi'kmaq people, the First Nations people. And actually the Templar Knights and the Mi'kmaq share a flag. So their flags are almost exactly identical. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. There's some legend that Glooskap of Mi'kmaq lore, was actually Templar Knight. Then yeah, they were trusted. They had the same sort of belief system, that they believed in a deity, not necessarily a specific religion, but in some power above. And that same belief forged a friendship between the Acadians and the Mi'kmaq, eventually, which posed a very large existential threat to the British forces that were here. So there was then a decree made that you either became a loyalist to the British Crown, or you were deported to the French colonies. So Louisiana was then founded by French Acadians that were deported from this area, and they still speak dialects that are very, very similar to ours. And I've heard that from first-handed accounts. Troy Laundrie, for example, the Swamp People on History Channel or Discovery, forget which one. Anyway, he chatted with one of my cousin's husbands, Sheldon Doucette, and Lynette. And Sheldon said it's just like a guy from down home. He sounds just like someone from where we're from, Tuscany, Amiros Hill, Bitamiro, like Hubbard's Point, all those kind of areas. We all have our own. They're all unique dialects, but very close. They're very similar, nonetheless. In just a couple minutes, I got another quick live on the radio there, so I'm making sure that's flowing okay. It seems to be. Yeah. If you happen to watch Curse of Oak Island, you're going to notice that they had a map there in French, and they had something that said basically Vers l'Est. Whatever you're looking for, say Vers l'Est, which in our lingo would mean it's towards the east. Their original translator thought that Vers meant glass, because in verre d'eau is a glass of water in certain dialects of French. But in our dialect, the old dialects before the King's French, Vers l'Est meant towards the east. So I'd love to see that map in person and really get a good idea of what it was asking. Heck, I'd like to be a French Acadian, I don't know the right word, commentator, I guess, for the show, if they had questions about translations and stuff. But all things for other days. How those things all tie together, though, are crazy astounding. And actually, there seems to be a lot of factual reference in the Knights Templar show. I forget what the name of that show is. A researcher, yeah, something like a researcher. Analyst keeps coming to mind, but it's not analyst. It's somebody like a commentator or a reference. Somebody that references. I got it written down in my notebooks there at some point. It's like, I think that'd be cool. I want to contact those guys. Very true. Anybody can be an expert. But for translations and how we'd consider things, like, get a whole bunch of the boys together and say, no, Vers l'Est doesn't mean glass east. Like, stop and think about that. Hey, Jeff. Nice to see you, bud. So I've got a couple minutes there before I'm live. But yeah, seems to be a lot of fact-based information on the Knights Templar show that's on history. Vikings show that's also on history. And even the tie-in to the Vikings, my Aunt Yvette had an Ancestry.ca DNA test, which showed her as having 2% Norse blood still. So the Vikings, the Norsemen, Ragnar Lothbrok's brother, I forget his name, he married a French aristocrat, and they had kids, and those kids ended up being the French people that eventually came here, evidently. It's kind of neat when you start tying all those loose ends together. Nonetheless. Oh, there we go. Is it Tanya? Tanya's talking right now on Tuska Toyota's little ad. It's going to be a station ID by Dian Dusa, and then it's going to be me for a little bit here. Got to check my notes. Oh yes, at 1:30ish, I'm going to give a little bit of a review of what's going on in the schools, the local schools. And I'll go from there. So, excuse me a second. I'm on in about 10 seconds. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vous êtes rendu ici sur CIFA 104,1 FM avec Jay Hubbard, ta Voix'd Par-en-Bas. Va donner à petite école, qu'est-ce qui se passe à l'école? L'école Belleville, pour commencer avec. Demain soir, le mardi 17 septembre, ça va être la première réunion du foyer école à 7h30 dans la bibliothèque. Le jeudi 26 septembre, ça va être la journée Terry Fox à 1h15 jusqu'à 1h55. Il demande que les élèves qui participent apportent un don d'un minimum d'une pièce. Les membres de famille sont invités à le rejoindre pour une marche à l'extérieur de l'école. Le jeudi 26 septembre aussi, la soirée porte ouverte pour les familles de 6h30 à 7h30. Et le jeudi 9 octobre, c'est la journée de prise de photos. À l'école Wedgeport, leur journée de prise photo prend place le jeudi 26 septembre. Le 27 septembre, c'est leur journée Terry Fox. Le lundi de 30 septembre, c'est la journée de chemise orange. Puis le dimanche 6 octobre, il y aura un talent show à l'école en support de la Légion de Wedgeport, branche 155. À l'école Pumlico West, le vendredi 13 septembre, ça va être passé, sorry. Le mardi 1 octobre, c'est la journée de prise de photos. Le vendredi 4 octobre, les élèves de maternelle au 6e année iront voir un spectacle au salle par Maurice Leblanc, ici dans tous chat. École Par-en-Bas, commençant le lundi 7 octobre jusqu'à le 18 octobre, c'est l'évaluation de la Nouvelle-Écosse, de lecture et écriture en anglais et en mathématiques pour les grades 6. Le vendredi 11 octobre, c'est une journée pédagogique. Le lundi 21 octobre jusqu'au 24 octobre, c'est l'évaluation de la Nouvelle-Écosse de lecture et écriture français en 6e année. Le jeudi et le vendredi, le 24 et le 25 octobre, c'est les journées pédagogiques. Pour venir, il va y avoir Yvette d'Entremont avec samedi soir. That was that. Matthew Joseph Blin. Actually, Claudie too. Qu'est-ce que tu as Claude faisait for day job type of thing. Shit, Claude, a firefighter, said luckily rencontré way back when at Wolfville. Yeah, I met Claude way back in Wolfville. Haven't met Matthew officially. Looking forward to it though. Hopefully get on their show there Wednesday nights at some point. Yeah, when I met Claude, I was at a firefighters convention. And that's the weekend I got to jam with I can't think of his name. From the Sons of Maxwell, Dave Carroll. I was thinking of Maxwell, but Maxwell's their dad's first name. It's Dave Carroll from Sons of Maxwell, United Breaks guitars, that kind of stuff. I sing one of their tunes now all the time. Got an official okay to play his stuff anytime on stage, which is kind of neat. Oceanside again, I play that tune constantly because it's just a good tune for the area. Hey, nice to see ya. That you, Kendrick? Hard to say. That picture looks like it's you with a fancy shirt and tie on, so I don't know if that's you or not. I'm not used to seeing you all dressed up. We'll have to start wearing ties at work or something with our green janitor's shirts. Yeah. I'm kind of at a loss of what other information is on the live, so I'll just reiterate what I talked about earlier. I'm hoping that the CIFA show ends up a way that I can advertise the Facebook Lives, which in turn will advertise Transcendental Resonance Frequency, or TRF, which is basically a branch that I've got Twitter and YouTube and all that kind of stuff on, and that's where I'm going to hit heavy on some woo-hooey kind of stuff sometimes. Anyway, it'll be a fun time, I think. So, I think I'm gonna just click finish on the live for a second here. Doesn't look like I got anybody on the live, so I'm gonna click and I'll come back. Gonna take a little break.